Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, Default Thinking Right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today, so let's get this party started. Wrightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right things way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where I'm going with this? So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and always to my heart be true. Let's discuss right things. Let's talk about what I call the fourth parable, and it's based on humility. So let's talk about the power of that ain't the what sorry, but let's talk about humility, excuse me, is mastering the ego. Humbling yourself, but humility is a quality that you need to try to master for yourself. That's what this lesson is going to be about. Let's see if I can break it down for you right quick. This is a little short lesson, so it shouldn't take that long. Let's go. So the fourth parable relates to humility. Now, humility is a quality that should not be confused with humiliation. Two different things. It is an advanced quality, meaning you have to work on it, which allows you to raise above the lower self. Again, lower nature is the ego self. That's what you're trying to raise above. That's normal. It's natural. That's why I ain't saying kill it this way. No, put it in check and it's going to break it down for you even better. And when you are raised above your lower nature by what? Supplementing, meaning gaining control of it. You don't know the definition of sublimation and controlling. Okay. And when you can supplement the negative aspects of your ego, ding, 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 your wants, your desires, your cravings, your pleasures, all those are ego driven and you can control them. It's the ones who don't control them who have the problems by them, aka fetters. Why? Because you cause them on yourself. So, but think about it. You know people who may even recognize what yourself acting in egoistic ways. When I was coming up, you see a guy getting out of pocket, he pulls his coat tail, yo man, that ain't cool. We don't do that now. But we see people acting in egoistic ways, and it's only based on what? Pride. When I was coming up, they called it, we use egotistical. We didn't use the word ego. We use conceit. All about everything about me. Same thing, okay? But ego is pride within what? Your own physical prowess. Me, I. That's the ego. Your strength, your beauty, how good you look, vanity, the possessions that you have. Look at my big fancy car. Fame. Oh, I'm so-and-so. Okay. Oh, that's ego driven. And unless you are practicing humility, you're driven for those things. And most people in society are. Okay. These egoistic patterns, which is a lot of people don't even know they got an ego. Okay. And they do certain things based on a lower nature, egoistic concepts. And these egoistic patterns have been developed, watch this, as you grew. Started way back when. Your ego is a monster, okay? And you grew up in what? Society, and it's accepted. Why? Because it's values which society emphasizes based on physical, beauty, sexuality, fame, wealth, and so on. You see where I'm going with this? Everything is based on how much you got, what you got, how you doing, where you going. All that's all ego. That's all ego. And our society is ego driven. We live in a capitalistic society. That means everybody's trying to get more than the other. Hence the rat race. It's a dog eat dog world. So be careful. All you can control is you. But if these values, now you go, are correct, if that's what's good, watch this. Why is it that the people who have the most money, the most fame, opportunity for all the sex, relations, plastic surgeries, notoriety, all in the world, but they're not what? Happy people. They're not the happiest people in the world. Would you would think all that they would be? That goes to show you that's not what it's all about. Time and time again, we've seen it. Yeah. If you're happy with yourself, it don't make a difference how much money you got, how big your house is. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. We done got so far away from that. That ain't good enough. Just being a decent person, good person, is good enough for God, but it ain't good enough for society. See where I'm going with this? I'd rather serve God. Hell with society. Why is it that they are susceptible, who all those rich, famous, special people, y'all make them famous, to the same failings, misfortunes, and calamities as all other people? They just disguise it better. Money's a good deodorant, okay? The stuff that you do without money is easily visible to see or smell because it ain't good. With money, you can hide all that out. You can, all that good stuff. So understand that money don't make you a good person. Simple as that. Money don't make you happy. We've been knowing that, but they still shoot for it. There are great, what's this? That is what they call the great illusion in popular society. Again, they tell you this shit, but they drive you to do this shit backwards. Okay, that most people and y'all follow without even examining what closely, that there is some situations and possessions or person in the world that there's no situation, possession, or person in the world that can bring them to happiness. I've been telling you that for longer. I give you lessons all the time. Everybody knows that, supposedly, but yet we still fall for the okie doke. People have been searching for such an object since the beginning of time. It ain't just started without what? You ready? Any success. Looking for God out in the world ain't gonna happen, and they still do it. Het Hadoop, which is God's daughter, Ra's daughter, had searched for it. She searched for it in vain when he sent her down here to do what he wanted her to do. Anybody that wasn't righteous, kill him. So she wanted to kill him. But what happened? She lost herself. Whenever we're born into human form, we don't know ourselves. So the goal, we're going to be human to know thyself. Hello. That's why we're born. Born what? Unconscious. Now she realized at the time we helped out, she realized that what she was searching for was this, was something she already had within herself. We all find that out if we go looking for it outside ourselves. We actually find it, you realize it never been outside you. It wasn't the eyes. Everything each one of them looking for, they already had. They just wasn't aware of it. It wasn't conscious. Okay, but no person or living creature can escape misconnect karma. Okay, life and death, birth and death, or the jaws of death. She represents mortality. Anything that's born will die. We, in spiritual beings, come into the physical form. We are born in the physical form. So that physical form is going to die. Simple as that. Get over that. This must be clearly understood. Again, if you're scared of death, I can't help you. What? I need you to understand. The spirit that's inside the physical body don't die. It's born into another body. Why? Because the body can go to another body unless what? it gets enlightened and know itself. It don't have to reincarnate no more. The goal for all human beings is what? To stop the reincarnation by what? Getting knowledge of knowing thyself. My job is to help you do that. That's all I'm doing. I've done it. So I'm trying to get you, look, man, come on, get your ticket. Punch your ticket. Know thyself. That's the ticket. It ain't God. No, thyself. Thy is God. New York. I see the lesson getting a little long, so let me try to wrap it up for you. And understand this. Your ego, hear me, your ego is not the real part of your personality. It's what you believe yourself to be. You don't know, so you have to what? Become conscious, and you know that your ego self is not the true self. Hope you get an understanding. It is an illusion which you are sustaining. Why? Due to your error, aka ignorance and understanding of your true higher self. You're your worst enemy. Okay, you can be the hero, you can be the goat. Your choice. So see me, scapegoat. Who fault it is? Yours. Okay, for not doing what you should and could do for yourself. You expect somebody to do it for you? You expect somebody? You got to be crazy. Moving on. When you was a baby, parents who watched over you, you messed your diaper, they changed it for you, they took care. But at a certain point in time, they taught you how to what? Use the bathroom. It's called progression, process. It's all about life. Moving on. We're still doing it until what? You get that ding, ding, ding. What? Enlightenment. That's the ding, ding bell. Idea. Your ego, again, meaning your personality, which you accumulated over a period of time, your sense organs, your physical body, and thoughts are what are in reality transient aspects of yourself. They're just aspects of you. They are instruments that the soul, aka the spirit, uses in order to have the human experience. The five senses: smelling, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting. That's how you send the signal to the brain. The brain is inside here. It only knows what the signal send to it. But what it does on its own, which is think, calculating, solve, that's what you can control. That's the idea of meditation. That's the whole part about going inside yourself. It's all in the head. It's all mental. And if you're not mentally competent of who you are, you don't know thyself. Simple. Moving on. Now, in order for you to have a human experience in the world of time and space, the spirit needs a body. Get it? So there are no absolute realities in this physical world. Trying to be nice. And this is why at the time of death of the physical body, what's this? The unenlightened, ignorant of higher self, okay, a lot of us, religious people, the soul sheds what? That ignorant personality, that body, the ego that went with it. That's why the ego dies. The consciousness of who you are will die with the physical body. That's what's left. Now it starts all over again. What? Clean, new clothes. And it moves on into what? Another human experience we call birth. I'm freaking out, but I'm hoping I'm getting less. I'm excited. Now, it will reincarnate at some point in time. That's the process. That's what I'm trying to show you. Okay. And as well as what? A new ego personality. The ego personality, if it's in control, it's going to die. It don't care. The sign for the ego is a man with a hatchet to his head. It's self-destructive. That's why you don't want it in control. Can't make it no more clear. And if you're ego-driven, that means you're selfish, your ego. All those things that's negative, that's you. When you switch over and figure it out, like my man JB did, and start living right for the right reason, do the right thing, you will be a different person internally. The same physical person will still be there. All these people know, shot there, but now he won't be shot there. Why? That older bad guy, James Brown. That's how you know you changed. I'm P-Funk. I'm Mark, but I'm P-Funk. Why? P-Funk's the enlightened Mark. How about that? Moving on. So just as a person may change their clothing, their name, that all that it's a constant change. When you act in accordance to what? Righteousness. There you go. Now this is the best part. Now I'm about to hit home. You are putting down the ego self. Again, pushing it down, putting him under your foot. When you need him, he should be at your servitude. He should work for you, not you work for him the other way around. And watch this. And when the ego is not given prominence, meaning it ain't in control. In the personality, what happens? It becomes the instrument in which you can use instead of an obstruction for you. He will work as hard as anybody can. Why? That's all he do. He just need to be guided the right way. He ain't evil. He ain't bad. He just uncouth. He just ain't trained. He's a little rough around the edges, as they say. But your job is to coach him, corral him, and put him in the work position. It becomes a servant. Your ego will serve you if you put it in a position. If not, it will run you. Ego will become a servant instead of what? A slave master who forces you, the person, into what? Bunch of situations, entanglements, in which at the beginning seems, don't the devil lure you in? It looks good, it smells good, all that. Yeah, they lure you in to seem promising and happy. But what happens? Later on, you know you'll be led to what? Suffer pain and sorrow. Why? Because the illusion, what you thought, really wasn't what it is, and you just got caught up, and you just had to suffer the consequences. No matter if you claim ignorance, not a good excuse for doing wrong. Okay, understand that. So when a person overlooks performing correct action and do what they want to do, okay, in the favor of indulging in their personal desires, they're ego-driven, and their actions will now be based on egoism. And I don't know what they think, the ego, the devil, the bad guy. No, it's just your lower nature doing what it does. That's what you got to rise to your higher nature to instruct it. Why? It will acquiesce if you put it in position. If not, it's going to continue to run. Why? It don't know no better. It need to be put in position. Conquered. Okay? Defeated. All actions tainted with egoism. If you have bad intentions, if all you're doing, everything is for something in return, that's egoism. Okay? Will inevitably lead you to disappointments, frustration, and at some point in the future. Why? Because you do things for a certain reason. If it don't happen, it's going to change your mood, how you feel. If it's good, you're happy, you're elated. If it's bad, oh, you're depressed. That's human. That's normal. You just have to be able to control it. Or it will control you. The whole time. You're along for the ride. I'm just here going, yeah. Control it to straighten it out. So therefore, it's the inability to act in accordance with trust and understanding, aka Mayat, as a defect in your personality. When you just can't seem to do what's right, you have defective personality. They just call you bad seed. My best friend. My mother didn't know this cat from candy paint, but she said one thing about him: he still the stink out of shit. For whatever reason, she knew that about him, and he was a thief. As a thief was a thief. He just was a thief. He couldn't stop. So I'm speaking again from experience. Moving on. I keep telling you, my best friend, okay, for other reasons, but that didn't change who he was. Like, yeah, I knew that a long time ago. I understood it. Got me locked up with him a couple of times. Moving on. But when your actions are done wrong, you're always going to taint it, and you'll never reach where you're at. Okay. At some point in the future, you will reach disappointment. Why? If it don't go your way, disappointment. And elation comes from when it works out your way. That's not a good way to live. Watch this. So therefore, the inability to act in accordance with trust must be understood as a deficit to your personality. Sorry about that. And it's a form of mental illness. How about that? It is the illness of, you ready? Get your boy out of the delivery. Your boy, that's what he's suffering through. Delusions of grandeur. But you have delusions. Delusions are intensified by the activity which bolsters the ego. The more they amp him up, the more ego he get, the more delusional he get, and the more grandiose is he gonna make himself. He's better than everybody. He's done it, and he really works. We get that lesson already, but that's what the ego is a perfect example. I like to use him. Why? Because now you are spiritually ignorant, okay? And the egoistic desires will not get you where you want to go. If raise your consciousness is there, ego won't get you there. So the pleasures that you seeking, the mentality, the pursuit of what? Sensual pleasures are all self, not higher self, lower self. Pleasures of the flesh, the carnal virtue. Come on, y'all. And the desire to possess what? Objects, wealth, fame, power, for what? Personal, aggrandizement. Okay, again, aggrandizement, grandeur. You want to be recognized or seen as the best at everything. And these are all examples of what? Of an egoistic maniac whose desires, which lead to what? More delusions and more mental agitation, aka mental sickness, illness. He got to be not all there. You listen to this guy talk, you simple, move on. And this is what, not me, psychiatrists and people profession say the same thing about him. I just recognize it from a different perspective, and it's all the same thing. Let me wrap this lesson up. Hope you're getting it. If you letting the ego run you, you got problems. Moving on. Let me wrap it up. For spiritual teachings, when you learn the spiritual teachings that I give you, it allows you to what? Discover a higher form of fulfillment. It's a spiritual thing. I get a good feeling doing what's right. My spiritual mother tells me she's been that way all her life. I call her my Maya. Why? It's never been nothing for you to do the right thing. That's what drives you. When you find yourself and start changing life over to God, whatever, higher self, you're going to feel good about doing stuff for other people, not just yourself. That's the difference. And it will allow a person to understand the underlying basis of creation and the illusionist of what? The physical desires that's fleeting with the egoistic pursuits and perishable objects. Things of the world goes nowhere. They stay here. Tutankhamun had everything, and I went with him. Okay, the eye of the needle. The rich man will never digress or divest himself of all things. Why? Possession is what makes him go. A spiritual man would take it all off, going there where I came out. Nothing. That's all I need is this. When your needs to have some, you need to have some relationships and some possessions. Of course, yeah, in life, that's normal. Again, put it in perspective. Keep the balance. Know what is and know what's not. That's all. But however, here you go. Wrap it up. Taking it home. However, you should never hold on to anything in and of this world. Even as you are experiencing it, going through it, and possessing it. Your possessions and your relationships should not, your relationship and possession should only be based on, you ready? Righteousness, truth, and never on ostentatiousness, which is greed, lust, and selfish gains. Ego always want to end up on top. My man always wanted to end up winning. In competition, he wanted to win. In anything, he wanted to win. But he missed the one ingredient that would make him a winner. Knowledge of self. And humility. He had none. So that's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I've never known that right thinkers like you have passed away. Got to conquer that ego.